All right, I think we're ready to get started here. This meeting is a meeting of the school board and the public for the purpose of conducting the school corporation's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. There may be time for public participation as indicated by agenda items or as directed by the president. The meeting site is fully accessible. Any person requiring further accommodation should contact the superintendent at the school corporation central office. The meeting will be electronically recorded and will be kept on file in the superintendent's office. A copy of the audio recording will also be available on the NLCS website. At this time, I would ask if you're able to please rise and uncover, and would ask if Scott, you could lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, should be noted as far as board members that are present that we have 4 here, which does constitute a quorum. We expect Ms. Collier to be here shortly as well. Dr. Miller is on travel and I think in the air right now, so she was unable to call in. And Mr. Gilbert had an emergent issue that took him out of town this afternoon. So, but we do expect to continue on with the agenda as planned. Also, pop quiz to Mr. Underwood in the event of inclement weather or tornado signs or anything. What do we do, Mr. Underwood?
We'll go to one of the interior rooms in here.
Okay. Hopefully the weather's behind us.
Yeah,
Okay. Next item on the agenda is a recognition of a loss of one of the members of the NLCS family and community. And we just want to take a moment and recognize and honor the life of Ms. Tiffany Thomas, who passed away on July 12th at the age of 41. Tiffany was a member of our North Lawrence community, and her children attend Parkview Elementary. So if you don't mind, please join us in a moment of silence to remember Tiffany and to keep her family, especially her children, in our thoughts during this difficult time. All right, thank you. Next item on the agenda is review and approval of the minutes from the June 12th meeting. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as recorded.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from June 12th, 2025.
All right, Mr. King makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, I'll give it to Ms. Miller with the second. Any discussion related to the approval of the minutes? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, minutes are approved. Next topic on the agenda is persons to address the board relative to the agenda. I look to Mr. Housel to see if we have any cards or any submittals for people to address. All right, very good. Seeing none. The next topic on the agenda, welcome Ms. Collier. Thank you for coming. We are just to item E on the agenda. This next item on the agenda is a holding of the hearing on the lease, adopting a resolution to authorize execution of the lease. Mr. Pittman, you want to help walk us through this?
We are required by Indiana Code 20-47-3 after a lease hearing. The school board must approve the lease agreement, authorize the school board officers to execute such lease. This lease is the agreement whereby the school corporation will levy the required property tax to pay the lease payment throughout the life of the bond issue. The lease payments will be paid to the building corporation and then used to pay the bondholders to repay the proposed bonds.
And I probably should have prefaced this with a few statements that this lease hearing is in connection with the proposed project. If you are interested in speaking at the hearing, this will constitute the hearing. Please make sure that you have signed in the sign-in sheet, which will include your name and address. There will be an opportunity for the public to make comments about the lease rental to be paid under the lease and the appropriation of bond proceeds. At the hearing, we will ask that each person limit their comments to 3 minutes and that the topic be limited to the lease rental and appropriation of funds under consideration. The notice for this hearing was published and legally required. Pursuant to Indiana Code 20-47-3, before a school corporation may enter into a lease with a nonprofit building corporation, the school corporation must conduct a hearing regarding the execution of the proposed lease agreement and whether the rental to be paid to the lesser building corporation under the proposed lease is a fair and reasonable rental for the proposed improvements. We will now open the public hearing. Remember, if you would like to speak, please sign in on the sheet which is located at the entrance of the room. As I mentioned earlier, we ask that you state your name and address, limit your comments to the proposed rent be paid under the lease, keep any comments to 3 minutes, and avoid being repetitive if possible. May I have the sign-in sheet, and is there anyone on the sign-in sheet? I guess I should ask, Mr. Housel.
One person. John?
That's me, and
Sir?
I just signed in to sign in.
Okay, sir. All right. If you're not speaking on the lease, then we'll table that until a later time. If you would like to address the board on other topics later in the meeting, there will be an opportunity to do that. So last call for anyone wanting to speak. All right. So we heard from Mr. Pittman.
First item up is the execution of the lease and that resolution, first resolution.
All right.
Considered by
All right. So as required by Code 2047-3, after a lease, is that the part you just read? It is, isn't it? I'm sorry. Could I have a motion then to adopt the resolution authorizing the execution of the lease?
I make a motion that we adopt the resolution authorizing the execution of the lease as described.
All right, Mr. King makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, Mr. Soakland seconds. Any discussion related to the motion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor of approval of the resolution authorizing the execution of the lease, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries. Mr. Pittman?
Thank you. The next resolution is the resolution assigning bids and contracts to the building corporation once received. At the bond closing, the building corporation will own facilities where some of the renovation work will be completed. The building corporation will also be the issuer of the bonds. As a result, certain contracts may need to be with the building corporation because the building corporation will hold the money to pay the contractors. The school corporation receives the bids and/or contracts and awards the bids and/or contracts under state law, but then retains the right to assign those bids and/or contracts to the building corporation for payment at the discretion of the board.
All right, thank you, Mr. Pittman. Could I have a motion and a second to adopt the resolution assigning bids and contracts once received?
I make a motion that we approve the resolution assigning bids and contracts once received.
All right, Mr. King makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, Ms. Miller seconds. Any discussion related to the motion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, Mr. Pittman, could you please summarize the resolution authorizing the second supplement to master continuing disclosure undertaking and issuance of bonds?
Yes, this resolution satisfies the Securities and Exchange Commission requirement that a school corporation enter into a continuing disclosure undertaking agreement if it issues bonds to public investors. The agreement requires that the school corporation agree to timely provide certain financial information and provide notice of certain material events if and when they occur.
All right, thank you, Mr. Pittman. Could I have a motion and second to adopt the resolution authorizing the second supplement to master continuing disclosure undertaking and issuance of bonds?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the resolution authorizing the second supplement to master continuing disclosure undertaking and issuance of bonds.
All right, Mr. King makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Soakland seconds. Any discussion related to the motion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed? All right, resolution carries. Thank you, Mr. Pittman. And that will be the end of our hearing for the purposes of the hearing on the lease, and appreciate those who attended and those who we thought wanted to speak but didn't. All right, next item on the list from the business office, Ms. Carson.
Good evening. I'd like to ask the board for approval of claims and payroll since the last board meeting in the amount of $4,766. Let me start over. $4,766,783.99.
All right, have a recommendation for approval of claims and payroll since the last board meeting. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Ms. Miller makes the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. King seconds. Any discussion or questions related to the motion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to ask the board to adopt the resolution for fund-to-fund transfers. These 6 transfers will allow the business office to complete the fund cleanup that was previously approved by the board at the June meeting.
All right, have a recommendation for a fund-to-fund transfer. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion, we approve the resolution for fund-to-fund transfers.
All right, Mr. King makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Miller seconds. Any questions or discussion related to this motion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed? All right, resolution approved.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to ask the board to approve the food prices for the 2025-2026 school year as presented by the recommendation from our food service director and Chartwell's, our food service management company.
All right, have a recommendation for approval of proposed school food prices. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion, we approve the food price increase for the 2025-2026 school year.
All right, Mr. King makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Soakland seconds. Questions or discussion related to this motion?
Are you familiar with the items on this list?
In terms of the actual food
What
content
they
or
are?
how they're in our kitchen,
Yeah.
somewhat, in the sense that I've been briefed on it by the food service management company and our food service director.
All right. Yeah, the list in front of you.
I do.
All right, like between individual side and Pepsi soda products? Like 1, 2, I don't know. Just slightly, it's IZZE, a new item. Do you know what that is?
Yes, that's some kind of a new bubble water drink.
Oh, some kind of drink? Okay,
It's like a carbonated fruit juice product.
okay. Like ice or something? All right,
Something along those lines.
all right. Do you know how you pronounce it?
I think the way you said it is correct. That's my
Okay,
understanding.
thank you.
For those who aren't looking at this item, I think obviously this is available in board docs.
IZZE.
It says the a la carte prices are based on the increase in individual items cost. Most were only increased by 5 cents, representing less than a 3% increase, with the average food cost increasing 3.6%. So in summary, we're looking at a 3%, 3.6.
Correct.
That's not accurate, because there's only 8 out of 23 that are 5% increase. The rest are a little higher, but that's okay.
Correct.
All right, but it's not very much.
But you would say this is kind of an inflation type of increase. Would that be accurate?
Yes, I think
Okay.
so. And in general, for example, like if you look at the major items that we do, which is the full paid lunch and the reduced price lunch, for full paid lunch, we're only increasing that 10 cents. So it's going from $3 to $3.10. And DOE's recommended price point is $4.01. So we're doing a modest increase in the event that there's continues to be inflation or other costs associated with it, but wanting to keep it close to what our families are used to paying so they continue to participate in the program, because there's a benefit for having like a higher volume of people in the lunch program. And then for reduced price, that one's just set by DOE, so we don't control that pricing at all.
Okay.
And then the a la carte is entirely up to the discretion of our kitchens. Like,
Right.
we get to set those prices.
And it's still reasonable prices.
All right, thank you. Any other questions or discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries.
Lastly, I'd like to ask the board for approval of the payment to PSG Energy Group for the North Lawrence Career Center Culinary Kitchen and Dolan's HVAC projects. And these projects were previously approved by the board, but this was a late invoice that we received, and we want to make sure we can process it before the next board meeting. And as a reminder, this one will be paid from the rainy day fund and then reimbursed with the bond proceeds. It's a little special.
Okay, have a recommendation for approval of payment to PSG Energy Group for work completed. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Ms. Miller makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Sokin seconds. Questions or discussion related to this motion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries. All right,
Thank you.
thank you, Ms. Carson. Next agenda topic, Human Resources, Mr. Unger.
Good evening. This is the happiest I've ever been in July to stand before you. Thanks to a collective effort from our finance team, our curriculum team, special education team, the principals, Kaylee from the office, the superintendent. You already know our retention rates are going up, so that helped as we look for people. But also, we've increased our hiring practices. We've had more fidelity with that. Our KPIs are good, retention rates up, time to hire is getting shorter, and it's just everybody working collectively together. So that means we're less scrambling this year than I've ever been, trying to get positions filled. So I'm very pleased to present to you tonight the personnel agenda for your approval.
All right, personnel agenda is in our packets. Have a recommendation for approval of the personnel agenda as submitted. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Soklin makes the motion. Do I have a second? All right, Ms. Miller seconds. Questions or discussion related to the personnel agenda? All right, hearing none. All those in favor of approval, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries.
Thank you.
Mr. Unger.
And also, just FYI, we're going to have a certified employee orientation on August 1st, and the curriculum office helps with that. But also, Tricia and Dr. Miller do a very good job of mentoring our teachers, which is also another thing that's really helped with our retention rate and just having better teachers in the classroom for our students.
Mr. Parsley, I would like to introduce a couple people to
Sure.
the board. At this time, all the way from Alaska, we have a new Shawswick Elementary third grade teacher, Zach Richards. Please stand up.
Hello.
Welcome, Indiana.
And he drove from Alaska.
Drove from Alaska, yeah. It's a pleasure to be here, and thanks for the opportunity.
What part of Alaska?
Guys. Homer.
Ah,
So
I got
it's
covered
right
on
on the
this.
coast, mountains, sea. Beautiful.
We're having beautiful weather here. So.
Yes. Well, it's nice having seen a thunderstorm, honestly. We just get rain.
Yeah.
And then it's, at this time, it's, the midnight sun. So it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's about like this out. So, yeah, it's nice to be here. My wife has a family in Indy. One closer to family, so we're really stoked to be here. And thank you for having this opportunity to apply for a job.
Hey, thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And also want to introduce our new principal at Dulles Elementary, Miss Brittany Spring. Please stand. Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Parsley.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Yancey. Next item on the agenda is our elementary curriculum, Ms. Hudson.
Good evening. My first approval item is memorandum of understanding between North Lawrence Community Schools and Centerstone. Centerstone is our behavioral health provider in Lawrence County. There are actually 3 different MOUs. I don't know if we can just approve them all at once or if we need to approve them separately, but the first one is for Bedford Middle School, the second one is for Lincoln Elementary, and then the third one covers all of our other schools. The reason there are different ones for Bedford Middle School and Lincoln Elementary is because those 2 schools have dedicated Centerstone personnel that are in those buildings every day, all day. So those MOUs look a little bit different than the general MOU that covers everybody else.
If there's no objection from anyone, you can take them together.
Any objection to grouping these and approval all 3 at the same time?
Nope.
All right. Then we have a recommendation for approval of these MOUs with the Centerstone. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the memorandums of understanding between NLCS and Centerstone.
All right, Mr. King makes a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, Ms. Miller seconds. Any questions or discussion related to the motion?
Thanks for these changes.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Anything else? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries.
My next item is a request for public comment on the Indiana Department of Education's EdFlex waiver. This will cover the following for NLCS. Waiver number 2 allows us increased flexibility in our paraprofessional requirements. And waiver number 4 allows us increased flexibility in our Title IV fund use. These waivers need to be applied for and granted every year, so you may remember that we did this in the fall. They've just moved up the deadline for waiver 2 and waiver 4. So this is my formal request for public comment, inviting comment to be made via email to me, Tricia Hudson, at hudsont@nlcs.k12.in.us, or written mailed communication to Tricia Hudson, NLCS Grants Administrator, NLCS Administration Building, 420 W Street, Bedford, Indiana, 47421. The public comment for these waivers will close at the end of the day on July 25th, 2025.
All right, thank you, Ms. Hudson. I don't have any motion there or any approval, right? All right.
And then my next item is just an FYI item to recognize Lincoln Elementary as a family-friendly school. This is an actual designation by the Indiana Department of Education, so we congratulate Lincoln in achieving this status. Lincoln was one of just 45 schools across the state to earn this designation. They demonstrated their commitment to engaging families in their children's education, and we want to say a very special thank you to the Lincoln staff, students, and families for participating in this process. It entailed several surveys, meetings with the IDOE staff, and a huge thanks goes to the principal at Lincoln Elementary, Mrs. Kim Webb, as well as our school health coordinator, Dr. Megan Shipley, who worked closely with Mrs. Webb and the Lincoln staff to earn this designation. So this was released, I believe, in May, and we are working with Mr. Van Landingham to plan some branding for Lincoln, and I believe they'll receive a banner, and
Excellent.
so we want to definitely publicize that they've earned this designation because it's a great honor.
Yeah,
Great
Very well done.
recognition.
Thank you. And then my last item is not really my item; it's more Ms. Terrell's item. We have a quick presentation on the 3E grant that she has put together. She worked really hard just as soon as she stepped into her role as our college and careers director. This grant was one that it was kind of handed down to her. It had already been applied for and received, but she was instrumental in making sure that we spent those funds out as much as we possibly could, and brought some fantastic programming to our school corporation in her first year and a half as our college and careers director. So I'm going to turn it over to her at this time.
Hi.
Did you pay her to say that?
No, I didn't. Thank you for allowing me to be here tonight to share with you an update about the 3E grant. So as Tricia said, we were awarded this grant July 1st of 2022, and when I took on the role of Director of College and Career Readiness, I inherited this grant. Honestly, I really didn't know what it all entailed. I wasn't part of the initial work of it. So with the help of many people in the corporation, we've been able to utilize the money successfully. So when we talk about 3E, it's Explore, Engage, and Experience. And the 3E grant was awarded to us from Ivy Tech in partnership with the Indiana Department of Education. And then the grant concluded on September 30th of 2024. So the grant purpose, the Explore, Engage, and Experience 3E grant was designed to establish meaningful pre-K-12 pathways and opportunities for all students, ensuring every learner is equipped with skills, knowledge, and exposure needed to make informed decisions about their future education and careers. The desired grant outcomes was to increase students earning a high-value post-secondary credential, increase students engaging in high-quality work-based learning opportunities during high school, increase innovation, career exploration, and engagement opportunities for K-8. And I think we can all agree that our Career Center does an exceptional job of providing students with work-based learning opportunities. So that's not truly where our focus was, because we collectively didn't feel like that's where our money needed to be spent. So within this grant, we had the opportunity to apply for a $54,000 sub-grant, and in the proposal, we had to outline the scope of the work, a timeline, performance outcomes, and sustainability plan. And this was the first proposal I'd ever written. I honestly didn't know what I was doing, but fortunately, I was surrounded with lots of people who helped me and gave me guidance. So I appreciate their help as well. And I'm excited to say we got the $54,000. So in conversation with people within our corporation, we decided that we really wanted to focus the work for the grant for elementary, that early college and career readiness exposure, engagement, and exploration. So that's where most of our $54,000 was spent. And then I worked very closely with Christina Baker, and she's phenomenal, by the way. I'm sure you all know that. But we decided we wanted to spend this money to provide specific events for each grade level within North Lawrence. So our first event was the kindergarten teddy bear clinic, and I know some of you have heard this before, but it's kind of a if you came to our breakfast, you've heard it, but I'm going to tell everybody again. So with this event, we invited all of our kindergarten students out to the Career Center. And upon arrival, they all got a teddy bear that they got to take home with them. So the idea of this event is to ease any anxiety or fears that students have when going to the doctor, as well as exposing them to the health science pathway out at B&L. So if you see the teddy bear, he has on glasses, so they got to go to the optometry station. There was an X-ray station. Teddy bear broke his leg, so they learned about bandaging and casting. And then this year we involved our fire safety, criminal justice, and culinary. So they learned about kitchen safety, fire safety, and then how to call 911. Honestly, Mrs. Baker and I were just the facilitators, along with Christy Cummings, one of the health science teachers. She's the one who brought this idea to us, and we loved it, and we just took it and ran with it. So a lot of this credit goes to Mrs. Cummings, the health science teacher. These are her students who were, they plan the presentation. They're working directly with our kindergarten students. So thank you to Mrs. Cummings for bringing the idea to North Lawrence. For our first grade, our engineering pathway, we have a rocket launch for all of our first grade students. So we visit all of our elementary schools, the first grade classroom, and we bring engineering students to the elementary classrooms, and they're the ones leading this presentation. So they give an overview of the engineering pathway, what happens in engineering class, what is engineering, and then it's about a 10-minute presentation, and then the first grade students get to create or build a rocket out of straw and modeling clay and wings and tape. So they build the rocket, then we take it down to the gym, we have a rocket launcher, and then they launch the rocket, and the goal is to hit the target. Well, if they don't hit the target, then they can, rework their rocket with the hopes of next time hitting the target, and they get a pencil. And of course, everybody wants to walk out of the gym with a pencil. And then for our second grade visits, we took health science students, welding, and machining students from the Career Center to visit our second grade classrooms. And during these visits, the health science students read a book about hand washing and how to properly wash your hands. They talked about diseases, infection, viruses, and things like that, and also gave an overview of what the health science pathway is out at the Career Center. For welding, we had two girls do the welding presentation, which I think is pretty neat. And they talked about, what is welding, and gave an overview of welding. And then our second grade students had the opportunity to do what we called Cheese Whiz welding activity. And it's just a cracker with easy cheese, and then it just simulates what welding is like. And then for machining, our students talked about the machining pathway, and they showed a video and what happens during the machining class. And then they brought tic-tac-toe boards that were made in machining class with the pieces. So the activity after their presentation was they got to play tic-tac-toe. And then for third grade, we don't do anything for third grade because our third grade students go out to the Lawrence County Fairgrounds for Ag Day, and that's not organized by us. We're very fortunate that the Lawrence County Extension Office is the one who plans that, and that's happened for many years, so we just decided to let them continue to do that. For our fourth and fifth grade students, we have elementary career days, and this is where this is hosted at all of our elementary schools, and this is where we invite local business partners in to talk about their career, their education, responsibilities. They talk about the employability skills, work ethic, and being on time. And the goal of the career days is there are so many wonderful opportunities for our students that just aren't communicated, and you don't know. And honestly, I had no idea what was available as far as careers for our students until I took on this job. So this is just early exposure for fourth and fifth grade students, just to kind of get their mind turning about what they may want to pursue as they get older. With the Innovation Garage, this is a fourth grade event, and this is hosted out at the Career Center as well. And this is exposing students to the automotive career pathway. So they go to auto service and they learn how to change a tire. They go to auto body and they do some sort of like simulation painting. And then we brought in engineering and they get to put a car together. Mr. Yancey got to put a car together. He came out for that event. And then they race each other after they put their car together. And in the past, the Career Center... He said he lost. I don't believe that. In the past, the Career Center has had the car show, and the fourth grade students have come out for the car show, but the car show didn't happen, so Mrs. Baker and I wanted to continue this event for our fourth grade students in some fashion. And then for our sixth grade students, we have Welcome to the Real World, and this is where all of our sixth graders come out to the Career Center. This is just early exposure for them, what pathway opportunities are available to them, because it's important for them to see what happens at their Career Center, and all of our students as well. But, that sixth grade year, they can start thinking about 2 years I'm going to be at the high school, what might interest me, at the Career Center. And our Career Center students lead this as well. They do a 10-minute presentation and then about a 15-minute hands-on activity. And with all of these events that we have and we host, not only are elementary students being impacted by this, but our Career Center students are the ones, they're leading it, they're planning it, they're presenting, they have to, watch their time. I'm very proud of the fact that our high school students, they step up and they do a very, very, very good job of working with our youngest learners. And then for our computer science classes, we decided to purchase 3D printers and filament for all of our elementary schools, so students in kindergarten and sixth grade have the opportunity to work with 3D printers, and this is aligned with the Indiana state standards as far as computer science. With the 3D printers, it increases student engagement, problem solving, prepares students for future careers, fosters creativity, and then it focuses on the STEM and future ready skills that we need our students to have when they leave North Lawrence. And then we also had 2 teachers who participated in the ROI STEM fellowship, and then we had a teacher who received her STEM certification. So there were some items that they wanted to have for their classroom to enhance STEM learning. We do have Project Lead the Way, but they wanted to do something beyond Project Lead the Way. So we purchased a mini laser engraver, Legos, magnetic building blocks, IQ Builder, and STEM Challenge learning for those teachers. And then at Bedford North Lawrence High School, the special education class, they asked for a colored printer. And with the colored printer, it makes learning more clear. It helps with engagement, and it's easier for these students to process. So they were able to have a voting and election process and about making choices. Also, those life skills of just signs, what does a stop sign mean, or railroad crossing. And then also, they were able to use the color printer for hands-on activities and like matching activities. And then also they have Star Beans, so they have like a coffee shop, and every Friday anyone at BNL or the Career Center can purchase coffee or tea, and they use the colored printer to help with their coffee shop as well. And then at the Career Center, we purchased 3D printers, Peel 3D scanner, iPad, and a plasma cam for the engineering and advanced manufacturing and welding classes. So don't ask me what any of those mean or how they're used, but I was told that it was a good purchase, so and very expensive. So I was happy that we were able to do that for those teachers. And that's it. I tried to stay under 5 minutes.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Terrell. Any questions for Ms. Terrell?
You're welcome.
All right. Fantastic. So it concluded in September 30th, 2024, you said, the grant did, but you were able to benefit from it all through this last 24-25 school year then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there opportunity for a next year grant, or what's happening?
Well, fortunately, they allowed us to spend the money ahead, so we had enough supplies to do it this year,
Right.
and the hope is that we'll have enough to do it next year as well. And then after next year, we're going to have to come back to the drawing board and see what money we
When
can
you say
come up
next
with.
year, you mean this coming?
It'd be 26, 27. So we're good for 25.
Oh,
so
we're good for
this
25,
school year.
26, okay.
And then the next year, we're going to have to pursue some grants and seek out funding to help with this. But with the Teddy Bear Clinic, we've received lots of positive feedback from that, and I've had several say that they'd be willing to support and help financially any way that they could. So
Very good. All right. Thank you, Ms.
thank
Terrell.
you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Next item on the agenda is technology. Mr. Housel.
Good evening. I would like to request approval for a 3-year Google Workspace for Education renewal plus Gemini renewal. And it's worded very poorly on the agenda, and I apologize for that. This is our management of our Google environment, Gmail, everything Google in North Lawrence is managed with Google Workspace for Education.
All right.
There's
Have a-
also,
Oh, sorry.
there's a couple, depending on when you got your packets, I did add a cleaner quote later. So one of the quotes is 1 year for $23,000, and another one is, the current one is a 3-year renewal for $20,000 per year. So over those 3 years, we would save about $7,000 for a 3-year renewal versus the 1-year renewal.
Okay. Have a recommendation for approval of this 3-year contract with Google Workspace for Education. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion we approve this.
All right, Mr. King. All right, Mr. King makes a motion. Do I have a second? All right, Ms. Miller seconds. Any questions or discussion related to this motion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries.
Thank you. Request approval for Content Keeper content filter renewal. So this is a 1-year renewal. On the quote there, we have options for a 1 year or 3 year. There's not significant savings for doing a 3-year. So in the interest of flexibility, I'm just asking for a 1-year renewal. And so this is content filter for internet. Keeps everyone where they're supposed to be.
Okay. All right, have recommendation for approval of the Content Keeper filter renewal. Do I have a motion? All right, Ms. Miller makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Sokolin seconds. Any questions or discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Mr. House. All right, item J, Superintendent, Mr. Yancey.
Thank you, Mr. Parsley. At this time, I will turn to Mr. Pittman, our school attorney, to read a statement.
The item you have on the agenda tonight, approval of the settlement and general release agreement with Dr. Thomas T. Mungle. You have a proposed settlement agreement that's before you. That was the result of a mediation session that was held by all the parties to that lawsuit and cannot be final until it's presented to the board and you approve it. That agreement would resolve the lawsuit that was filed by Dr. Mungle against North Lawrence Community Schools and Dr. Wendy Miller individually. The terms of the settlement are, the general terms of the proposed settlement are, the school corporation's insurance carrier would pay $140,000 to Dr. Mungle. The school corporation would pay $110,000 for a total settlement of $250,000. Then the agreement contains general standard provisions such as non-disclosure or confidentiality, non-disparagement, things like that you've got in front of you there. This settlement agreement would resolve all the pending claims.
So at this time, we are asking approval of the settlement and general lease agreement with Dr. Thomas T. Mungle.
All right, have recommendation for approval of settlement agreement with Dr. Thomas T. Mungle. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
All right, Ms. Collier makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Sokolin seconds. Questions or discussion related to this motion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?
Nay.
All right. With 4 ayes and 1 nay, the motion carries and is approved.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Yancey?
We're asking approval of the superintendent, Mr. Kevin Yancey, to make necessary hires as needed to have a full staff at the opening of the 2025-26 school year. We've done this in the past 2 years, and this gives me the authority to hire, but you still have to approve it next board meeting, so.
All right, have a recommendation for approval for hiring authority as necessary for the superintendent. Do I have a motion?
Yeah, I make a motion we approve the hiring authority for the superintendent to fill the staff for the
All
next school year.
Mr. King makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Miller seconds. Any questions or discussions related to this motion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries.
Thank you, Board. We are asking approval of a contract renewal with Board Docs. This is the amount of $18,000. It's the same as last year.
All right, have a recommendation for approval of contract renewal with Board Docs. Do I have a motion? Ms. Miller makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Sokolin seconds. Questions or discussion related to this motion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. We are asking approval of the obsolete bus list.
All right, I have a recommendation of approval of, this is removing these obsolete buses from our inventory, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, I have recommendation for removal of these buses as being deemed obsolete. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the obsolete bus list for removal and or selling.
All right. Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, Mr. Sokolin seconds. Questions or discussion related to this motion? Do we think we'll retain any value in the sale of these
Yeah, a
buses?
few. One will be traded.
Okay.
It's had some issues, so we need to trade it before the warranty.
Okay.
One is going to be sold, and a few of the buses will probably go to the scrap yard because we won't receive much for them.
Okay. All right, any further questions or discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries.
Would you like me to go through the FYIs, or do you want to wait till after Steve is done?
Why don't we go ahead and let Steve go,
Okay.
and then we'll come back to that.
All right, thank you.
All right, Mr. Underwood, go ahead, sorry.
We are seeking approval of a memorandum of understanding regarding school resource officers with the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department.
All right, have a request for approval of an MOU with the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department. Do I have a motion? Ms. Miller makes a motion. Do I have a second? Mr. King seconds. Any questions or discussion?
How many of those do we have currently?
So, we have Brian Turpin with, City of Bedford, he does Bedford Middle School. And then we have two Lawrence County, well, We have one current Lawrence County one, but we're wanting to put a second one at B&L to replace the one that was from the city of Bedford. So that's the big change. Going from B&L, posting someone from BPD, or having someone from BPD switching to the county.
And the sheriff's office is supportive of this, I assume.
Yes, yes.
Are there significant reasons to make that change, or is it just?
I can't be sure. I have spoken to the mayor and chief of police, and I think there are some staffing issues,
Okay.
and the high school sits in the county
Right.
as well. So.
Okay.
All right, any other further questions or discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor of approval of the MOU, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Underwood. Mr. Yancey?
Thank you, Mr. Parsley. I want to real quickly go over the FYIs. The first, I will be hiring Jeff Callahan for a short tenure as a part-time at B&L as AD as we go through the transition. We have interviews next week, so this could be a 1 to 2 to 3 week need. His agreement is in front of you. It's under the amount of money, because if we would go over the limit that I'm allowed to spend, I would have to bring it in front of the board. But I wanted to give you a heads up what we're doing. Right now, everything's running well, so I do want to thank Miss Bailey and coaches that have been working to move forward. But again, we have to make sure we have somebody to fill that position for a short stay if we need to. The second one is an FYI that deals with the audit from the State Board of Accounts and the update. So if you have any questions, you can ask Fatima. But as you can see, they're coming. So they'll be here. And they will be here for a while. So, we're looking forward to them coming and getting that audit finished. The next information is from Don Skinner on My Way Pre-K program 2025. This comes from the state of Indiana. Gives you the standardized reimbursement rates and information and the poverty level that you can apply for that program. The next is a copy of the North Lawrence Community School Board Corporation. That is who the lease is you just voted on. I wanted to make sure you knew who was on that bonding corporation. So their names are there so you can see. That's also on our website. Last is the ISBA Weekly, gave out the ISBA Fall Conference. It is September 15th, 16th. We did send that out. I do have a board member that's interested in going with me. If you'll see me when you leave, if you would like to go, we're going to go ahead and get that registered and get that moving forward. And I do have some thank yous. We are getting ready to start school. So I want to thank all of our custodians and maintenance for getting our schools ready. We have a lot of projects going on here at North Lawrence. And I think Mr. King visited Shawswick today, and he saw all the work that still has to do in the 2 weeks. This is a huge task. I'm very impressed with Performance Services on this task. I have never seen this happen before in a district. You got to remember we had no chiller, no piping for cool water, so the piping had to be done. The system had to be old system had to be removed. New system in, painted, carpet, ceiling tiles, new lights, and get this done where we can semi-have school, because this is a 2-year project. And I think Mr. King can probably speak freely about this, but it is still a lot of work to go to get kids in there. But it's amazing how much work it takes to empty classrooms in 2 of our buildings. And I'm very happy that in a year and a half we'll have some really 2 nice functioning buildings when it comes to HVAC. And of course the roof is done at Needmore. So, and then Shawswick roof was done a year ago. So I want to thank all those custodians and maintenance. I do want to thank our directors and principals and our HR department for all the new hires we made this year. It's been enjoyable. I think over the 2 years, the goal was to start changing our culture, start trying to pay our people, put an emphasis on the importance of teachers and how the culture and paying them is so important because that's so valuable to our kids to have the best qualified teacher there. And it's really nice when you have 5 to 8 to 10 applicants. When I came here, we were lucky to have 1 applicant. So that is a thank you to the board that's allowed us to move forward and decisions that you've had to make. And I will tell you, I'm looking forward to us working with the Teachers Association as we do another 2-year contract. And we really, and I know you value our teachers and our staff. So thanks to all of our principals and directors, because it's been a very good summer for us here at North Lawrence. David's not here. He's on vacation, well deserved, but I also am very impressed with our information we're giving about North Lawrence Community Schools. From the flyers that went out to our signs to being at the fair, the energy level of, I hope people in the community see North Lawrence as a place that I would put my child. And I will tell you, we had a great meeting with the next phase of Playful Pathways. There will be a commercial coming out of Playful Pathways of the changes that's made. So I can tell you financially, I will have that statement to you hopefully by next month. But as we started this 2 years ago, that facility was hemorrhaging money. Now we're about there. And that's a very positive effect because we have about 170 kids in one area, and we have another 60 in the other area. When I got here, you had 41. So again, the community needs this facility. There is a need for child care, and we're also working on the curriculum. I want to give Don a great applause and our kindergarten teachers and all the staff working together to give our kids the opportunity when they leave Playful Pathways, when they go to kindergarten, to be ready. Now, there's some things we have to work on. I will tell you only 75% of those kids go to North Lawrence, so we have a goal. 75% is not good enough. We want in the 90s to come to North Lawrence Community Schools, and we want those parents to want to be in our facilities. Also, a big shout out, North Lawrence owns a lot of land, and back here behind Playful Pathways was a playground. We can't afford every year to redo a playground. It's too expensive. We just did a playground this year at Lincoln. And I have been complaining about that to not only to our public, because I think we lease this property to the city. That's where my kids played baseball when we came here to Bedford. So when you play baseball in a tournament, you play one game and you set 2. So what do you do with your kids? They go to a playground. So 20 years ago, I was sitting at that playground with my 2 children. That playground was dilapidated. It's sad. And our maintenance guys went down there, painted, took the stumps out, the old trees that were around, the junk that was around there, cleaned it up, painted. They took the old swings and cleaned them up and got them safe, and they're up. So now when kids come over there, they can play on this playground. And it was not me ordering it. I guess they got tired of hearing me complain about it, and they just went and did it. And I want to thank them because it means a lot to the community, because since I can see this area at night, it's heavily used. And I'm hoping people see that North Lawrence is not only cares about its schools, but we care about the community. And I sure thank all of our maintenance and staff that did this. And thank you, Mr. Parsley, and thanks to the board for all that you do.
Yes, and second, kudos to Mr. Van Landingham and everyone involved with the communications and the social media, the video that you starred in as the recruitment there.
We're going to get we do another video. We're going to get somebody else to play the
Okay,
superintendent,
all right, but
an actor.
All that was very well done, and yes, David definitely
I second it.
deserves David definitely deserves a hand on that, and everyone involved. Everything that Ms. Terrell is doing with the recruitment for college and careers, all that's fantastic stuff that's going on. So,
It's really neat when you go to the Career Center and bring our elementary in there and have our kids do the teaching.
Mhm.
That's the learning. And I know she's going to work on funding. You know we're going to fund this.
Yeah.
We those young kids to be at North Lawrence, and it's a great recruiting tool.
Absolutely. All right, item L on the agenda is persons to address the board. This is an open call for anyone who'd like to address the board relative to topics that were not on the agenda. No more blue cards? No faces? Okay. Hearing nothing there then. Moving on to our closing business, upcoming meetings. Our next meeting will be a regular meeting at 6 p.m. on August the 14th. So school will have kicked in by then. So you'll all be a lot busier. That was a regular session followed by executive session. I believe we have hit all the items on the agenda this evening. Going once, okay. With that, I would entertain a motion for adjournment. Mr. King makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Miller seconds. All those in favor of adjournment, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?